Springbok outgoing tour is just days away from starting, where the Springboks will take on Scotland, but Rassie has quite a few selection headaches that he needs to get through in order to put a team out this week. So we're going to be looking at a couple of those selection issues. As always, let me know your guys' opinions down in the comments to some of these issues. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. Still about 80% of you guys that watch this channel on a regular basis are not subscribed, and as always, leave this video a like. Let's get into some of these headaches. Now the first one is up front. With Frans Malherbe getting injured, it kind of leaves quite a big hole and void in that front row for the Springboks, because Frans Malherbe definitely would have started against Scotland. Now we have to start looking at options like Thomas du Toit, Volkolo, and Vincent Koch. All three of those players can fill in for Frans Malherbe, but who is Rassie going to pick specifically against the Scottish side, right? We know for the Springboks game plan, we need to get on the front foot, we need to get scrum dominance, we need to get those scrum penalties so that we can play some territory and get onto the front foot, get our lineouts working, and then let our backline do what our backline does. So Thomas du Toit, Volkolo, Vincent Koch. But thinking about this sort of a week or two ago, I was thinking that they probably just start Vincent Koch, right? Because then you could have Ox, Bongi, and Vincent, and that's a Sharks front row. They've been playing together for a couple of weeks now. The synergy is there. They know how to scrum with each other. So it makes sense to sort of put Vincent Koch into that jersey to try and get some more scrum dominance. But you could look at a guy like Thomas du Toit to start, or even Volkolo is a scrummaging machine. Why I don't think Volkolo is going to start is just because he hasn't been in the Springbok camp for all that long. Yes, he played back in 2021, but I don't think he's going to start. And Thomas du Toit could definitely start above Koch, and Koch comes off of the bench. And I think that might be what happens. Obviously, Vincent Koch is slightly more experienced than Thomas du Toit, but Thomas du Toit is very much in form at the moment. So it is a toss-up between Thomas du Toit and Vincent Koch. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Then moving into that lock department and the lock dilemma, right? We know of one lock that is definitely going to be starting. That's Eben Etzebeth in the number 4 jersey. But who does Rassie pair Eben Etzebeth? Is it going to be Rowan Nokia, Archie Snyman, or Franco Mostert? And who comes off of the bench? And what splits do we go for depending on who is sitting on that bench, right? So let's start with who's starting in that number 5 jersey. There have been a couple of reports down the grapevine that Rowan Nokia is probably going to start with Eben Etzebeth in that number 5 jersey, just because Rowan Nokia takes a lot of control in the lineouts, and he did a very, very good job in the Rugby Championship. But you can't dismiss the likes of a Franco Mostert and an Archie Snyman, who's playing some really good rugby at the moment. And we all know how good Sos is in that number 5 jersey. So there's 3 very, very good options of who could partner up with Eben Etzebeth against Scotland. Let's say they go for Rowan Nokia in that number 5 jersey, which is what I think they're going to do. Then, do they play both Franco Mostert and Archie Snyman on the bench and go for a 7-1 split? Or do they just pick one of them, rest one of them, and go for our more traditional 6-2 split? For me, I would be very, very surprised to see us go for a 7-1 split, which is why I do think they're gonna play Archie Snyman on the bench in a 6-2 split and give Franco Mostert not time off, but just some more time in the Springbok camp to sort of familiarize himself again with the Springbok systems and just that level of play. So I think we're probably going to start Rowan Nokia with Eben, and then Archie Snyman will come off of the bench in that bomb squad. Again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Who would you start? Who would you play on the bench there? We then go into one of the most talked about combinations in the Springbok lineup, and that is the 9 and 10 combination. I mean, we've spoken at length about it on this channel, but it is a very, very important selection, especially against the likes of Scotland, who have Finn Russell back, who is probably most definitely going to start against the Springboks. And we know the type of havoc that Finn Russell can cause defenses. So do we go for more conservative play and go for Cobus Reinach and Handré Pollard, like I've spoken about in previous videos? I do think Rassie and the coaching staff are going with combinations in that 9 and 10 jersey. Cobus Reinach, Handré Pollard, Manie Libbok with either Grant Williams or Jaden Hendrickse. So does he go conservative with Cobus Reinach and Handré Pollard? You sort of know what you're going to get. You're going to be able to control the game. You're not going to have to worry about who's kicking for poles. Handré Pollard definitely solves that headache. Or do we go for Jaden Hendrickse and Manie Libbok, or Grant Williams and Manie Libbok? Now, in a previous video where I sort of laid out my lineup for the Scottish test, a lot of you guys said that I shouldn't be starting Grant Williams and Marnie Lebok, because then who's going to kick for poles if Marnie Lebok is having a bad day? A lot of you guys suggested that maybe we start Jaden Hendrickse and have Marnie Lebok in that 10 jersey, and then if Marnie's struggling off the tee, then we give Jaden Hendrickse the tee and he can kick for poles. Not a bad idea, but I just love Grant Williams so much in that number 9 jersey. I also will, and this is a hot take, but I do back Marnie Lebok to kick against Scotland. I think his kicking is definitely improved. If you watch his last couple of Stormers games, you will see that his percentages have been going up. So I think for Marnie, he's a confidence player. You just have to back him. And I think the best combination with Marnie is Grant Williams, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them play Jaden and Marnie in that 9 and 10 combination, or just go super safe and go with Kobus Reinach and Handré Pollard. It's a big decision, one that the game could be won or lost with. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but I would love to see us go a little bit more attacking, go for Grant Williams and Marnie Lebok. Let Marnie back him, give him that confidence off the tee as well as in the attacking phases of the game, and really back Marnie Lebok in that number 10 jersey against Scotland. The next dilemma is also in the back line and who plays that number 15 position for the Springboks. Now with Damian Willemse getting injured, I think if he didn't get injured, he probably would have slotted straight into that number 15 jersey, but now he's injured. So do we play Upalele Fassi or do we play Willie Leroux? Now, obviously, Willie comes with 97 caps, all that experience, the game management, the BMT. We know what we're going to get from Willie Leroux. But Upalele Fassi has sort of made a name for himself over the past couple of months in that Springbok jersey. He's been performing phenomenally well. He's super safe under the high ball. His speed, he offers a little bit more on the counter attack than maybe Willie Leroux does. Willie is a very good playmaker when he has ball in hand, but not necessarily from that counter attacking position. So it's definitely going to depend on our strategy. I think if we play Handré Pollard, then we probably will play Upalele Fassi. But there is an argument to say if we start Marnie Lebok, then we'll have to play Willie Leroux in that number 15 jersey, so that there is that experience within that back line. And maybe if there are panic buttons, Willie Leroux can kind of just calm the game down again. But another very interesting choice that Rassie Erasmus is going to have to make in the next couple of days. And then the final headache, or maybe not so much of a headache, but it is the bomb squad or the bench configuration. Do we go for a 5-3, a 6-2, or a 7-1? Now, I do think while 5-3 is the more balanced sort of depth option and it's more the norm around the world, I think the Springbok team has become accustomed to that 6-2 split, and I would argue that the 6-2 split is now the norm for the Springboks. So do they go for that 6-2 split? 7-1, 5-3. I think 6-2 is definitely most likely. It all depends on whether Archie Snyman and Franco Mostert come off the bench, because then we will go for a 7-1. I do think it is a little bit risky just because we also don't have the utility of a Damian Willemse in the 23-man starting lineup. So I think for that reason that Damian's not in the side and we don't really have that person that can be that one person on the bench that can sort of play around the back line, I don't think we are going to go for a 7-1 split, and I would suggest that Rassie goes for a 6-2 split. You have a replacement scrum off. If Marnie starts, you have Pollard on the bench. If Pollard starts, then you could either have Fassi on the bench if Willie starts, or you could have Willie on the bench if Fassi starts. So there are a couple of more options there. But as always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments about all these headaches. There's a lot of them. If you haven't, leave this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.